Michigan. Thank you, Michigan. What a victory we had in Michigan. What a victory. Was that one of the greats? Was that the greatest evening? But I'm thrilled to be here with thousands of hardworking patriots as we celebrate the miracle of Christmas, the greatness of America, and the glory of God. Thank you very much. And did you notice that everybody is saying Merry Christmas again? Did you notice? Saying Merry Christmas, huh? I remember when I first started this beautiful trip, this beautiful journey, I just said to the First Lady, "You're so lucky I took you on this fantastic journey. It's so much fun. They want to impeach you. They want to do worse than that." By the way, it doesn't really feel like we're being impeached, do you? The country is doing better than ever before. We did nothing wrong. We did nothing wrong. And we have tremendous support in the Republican Party like we've never had before. Nobody's ever had this kind of support. But this sacred season, our country is thriving, and it's thriving truly like it has never happened before, to the extent what's happening now. And by the way, your state, because of us, not because of local government, but because of us, because of the job. Wow. Thank you, Haley. Great job. Wow. The Republican Party has never been so affronted, but they've never been so united as they are right now, ever, never. And I know the senators, and they're great guys, and women too. We have some great women, we have great guys, they're great people. They love this country. They're gonna do the right thing. They're gonna do the right thing. So I said in my letter to Pelosi, I love that. You know, usually there's one, two. The Republicans, look, I've said it for a long time. The Democrats are lousy politicians. They really are. They've got horrible policies, open borders, crime is fine, drugs pouring through. I mean, think of what they do. Sanctuary cities, they love sanctuary cities, you know. They're lousy politicians, but they have one thing, two things. They're vicious. They're the most vicious people. The Republicans aren't as vicious. They may learn to be vicious after going to this. But the other thing, the Democrats always stick together. Now think of it. 3 Democrats went over to our side, no Republicans. It's unheard of. And by the way, this is for 100 years. I'm not just talking about this little point in time. The Republicans are known as, it's always harder to stick together. These people are great. We have a great Republican Party, and we have to get that change. We have to take back the House. You'll have the greatest health care ever if we take, and by the way, we had another victory. The individual mandate, just a little while ago, came over the wires. It was just upheld. The individual mandate is now gone, the most unpopular part of Obamacare. It was just upheld. So I said in my letter to Pelosi, by proceeding with your invalid impeachment, you're violating your oath of office. You're breaking your allegiance to the Constitution. You're declaring open war on American democracy. You dare to invoke the Founding Fathers in pursuit of this election nullification scheme, yet your spiteful actions display unfettered contempt for America's founding and your egregious conduct. And listen, though, it's so true. It threatens to destroy what our founders pledged, and in fact, their very lives to build. You are the ones interfering in America's elections. You are the ones subverting America's democracy. We did nothing wrong, nothing whatsoever. This was just an excuse. You are the ones obstructing justice. You are the ones bringing pain and suffering to our republic for your own selfish, personal, political, and partisan gain. They're bringing pain. The work we could be doing on lowering drug prices, on getting rid of these horrible, horrible situations. You know, in the border, the woman is okay. Is she okay? Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. I mean, some of these people are waiting here for 3 days, right? Thank you. They'll come back. Come back. Thank you. Merry Christmas is true. But what they've done with this perversion, it's perversion. And when you watch some of these people get up and speak today, they don't even listen. Oh, you have violated the Constitution. Well, what has he done wrong? Well, we don't know that. They don't even have any crime. This is the first impeachment where there's no crime. I say, tell me what I did, please. Well, we don't know. You violated the Constitution. You had Turley, who's smart, Alan Dershowitz, these guys, all of them. They say there's no crime. There's no crime, right? There's no crime. I'm the first person to ever get impeached, and there's no crime. I feel guilty. You know what they call it? Impeachment light. It's impeachment light. That's why, you know, with Richard Nixon, I just see it as a very dark era. Very dark, you don't even like to think. I don't know about you, but I'm having a good time. It's crazy. But I also know we have a great group of people behind us in the Republican Party. We really do. Maybe I wouldn't feel the same way, but we have a great group of people behind us. We had it in the House and we have it in the Senate. They're doing a great job. So I'm not worried. I'm not worried because it's always good. When you don't do anything wrong, you get impeached. That may be a record that will last forever. But you know what they have done? They've cheapened the impeachment process. And now anybody that becomes, you know, this is a sacred position. Anybody that becomes president, I mean, they could have a phone call and they get impeached. So if the Republicans, if you had a Democrat as president, we have a Republican House, they don't like the guy for whatever reason or the woman, they impeach the person. It's cheapened it. It's exactly what our founding fathers didn't want, and they said it could happen, and it's happened. But I know one thing, Americans will show up by the tens of millions next year to vote Pelosi the hell out of office. But it's so disappointing. I see a woman, Carolyn Maloney. She's a long time, nothing much, believe me. She's a congresswoman from Manhattan, East Side. I was with her, her first race, I helped her. She was always so nice. Oh, thank you, thank you. I made lots of contributions over the years. You know, in New York, if you're not, it's like purely Democrat, especially Manhattan. So what happens, I make lots of contributions, years and years and years. I go run. The first person I see, Carolyn Maloney. I raise my hand to impeach. Well, give me back the damn money that I've been paying her for so many years. Let her pay me back all the money. Let her pay me back all the money. Then you have this Dingle. You know Dingle from Michigan? You know Dingle? You ever hear of her, Michigan? Debbie Dingle, that's a real beauty. So she calls me up like 8 months ago. Her husband was here a long time. But I didn't give him the B treatment. I didn't give him the C or the D. I could have. Nobody would have, you know. I gave the A+ treatment. Take down the flags. Why are you taking them down? For ex-Congressman Dingle. Oh, okay. Do this, do that, do that. Rotunda, everything. I gave him everything. That's okay. I don't want anything for it. I don't need anything for anything. She calls me up. It's the nicest thing that's ever happened. Thank you so much. John would be so thrilled. He's looking down. He'd be so thrilled. Thank you so much, sir. I said, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Maybe he's looking up. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. But let's assume he's looking down. But I gave him A+, not A, not B+, not B. I gave him the A+. And she called me so nice. Oh, I won't go into the conversation because it's not fair to do that. But all I want to say is, let's put it this way. It was the most profuse thank you that you could ever get. On a scale of 0 to 10, it was a 10. Okay, so that was, what, February or something. Now they talk about this phony impeachment. And she's out there, well, we have to look seriously at our president because he may have violated the Constitution of the United States. And I can't be happy with that because I love our country. I love this and I love that. She loves everything. I said, she's a no, okay? No, but I look at her and she's so sincere. And what happens? I vote to impeach Trump. And you know what? I didn't say, who the hell knew this was even going to come up? I went through the whole Mueller hoax. They did this big report. I was totally exonerated. They didn't even bring it up at the impeachment because I was totally exonerated. If they saw one little kernel, one little quarter of a sentence, look what they did with one word. Remember this. What did I do? What did I do? It's us. But they don't say it that way. They say I. They read it totally different. You know, Schiff and his band of thieves. They read it. Now I say basically, very simple, do us a favor. Our country. Do us, not me. Our country. And then, what do I say? I say, the United States Attorney General of the United States could speak to you, would be great. Okay? Because it's known for major corruption. In fact, the new leader of Ukraine got in on a platform where he looks for all of the problems of dishonesty and everything that was going on in Ukraine, right? He looked for it. That's how he got into office. He got into office that way. So we take it, and they repeat it 1,000 times, and they never say it with the right. So I go wild. And we start, and the Republicans have got it right. Now we always correct them. But I use the word us. Us is the United States, our country. And then it actually says, I think, comma, country. But they don't say that. They say, do me a favor. How many times have you heard it? Where they say in a speech, and then the president said, do me a favor. Well, that's not what I said. I said, do us a favor, our country. And then I said, the Attorney General of the United States. I didn't say my campaign manager, okay? I said the attorney. And these people want to impeach the President of the United States for that? Oh! And then what happened, right? Then what happened? So then the President of Ukraine, who's a quality person, said there was no pressure exerted whatsoever. That was a killer for the Democrats, right? Then his foreign minister said the same thing. He said, there was no pressure exerted whatsoever. There was no pressure. That's a killer. So now, did you see what the Democrats did a couple of days ago? They tried to say that he's not a strong person, that he was weak. They used the word weak, that he was weak. And under the power of Trump, he said, do you know how insulting that is? Anybody that becomes president of a country, and that's a big country and it's a tough country, you got to be tough. He's tough. But so what they're saying now is he was weak because the wording just doesn't fit, okay? These are really dishonest people. And if the press was fair, this thing never would have happened. So the House Democrats are surrendering their majority, their dignity, their reputations. They look like a bunch of fools. And I'll tell you, we have a lot of new stars in the Republican Party. I could read off a list of 20 names. But they're giving up their honor, and they'll receive a big backlash at the box office. When you take a look, that ballot box on November 3rd, I think we're going to have crowds like we've never had. And I'll tell you something. It used to be, they'd always say, oh, the Republicans. In 2018, I didn't run. Right? They all said, oh, we didn't. Well, actually, we picked up 2 seats in the Senate that these guys never talk about. We just approved 171 Supreme Court justices, federal court justices. 171 federal justices, including courts of appeal. 171 will be up probably by the end of the year to 182. And for that, I thank President Obama. He gave me 142 openings. He gave me 142. I said to him, my people, I got there, because they say the most important thing you could do as a president is judges and Supreme Court. We have two great Supreme Court judges, right? Two justices of the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh, Gorsuch, two great men. They're great. And how about the pain that they put Justice Kavanaugh through, right? Over a phony deal, I hate to tell you. Over a phony deal. What a disgrace. What they put that man through and that family through. Just remember it come November. You got to remember. It's a long time. You know, in the life of Trump, 10 months is an eternity. It's a long time. Somebody said, congratulations, sir, you're going to win. I said, don't say that. Just don't talk about it. Let's always pretend you're 1 point down, like last time. It's going to be close. No, it's going to be close. But what they put that man through was horrible. What they put his family through was horrible. And you know, those stories largely have been recanted, and frankly, the ones that didn't recant, I don't know what a Supreme Court judge does, but he should sue them. He should sue them. So, we want to take back the House. We'll hold the Senate, and we'll keep the White House. You will have the greatest health care. You will continue with the greatest judges. You know, we have judges that are, we just had a great story in the Wall Street Journal. I have to be always very truthful, because if I'm a little bit off, they call me a liar. They'll say he gets a Pinocchio, the stupid Washington Post. They have Pinocchio. I mean, even if you like saying things perfectly, it's a Pinocchio. There's nothing you can say where you don't get a Pinocchio. But what happens is we have, Wall Street Journal the other day got the best story. They said, whether you like him or not, the job he's done on judges and Supreme Court justices, but the job he's done on judges is amazing. Say it's the most important thing. See, I don't agree it's the most. I say defense is the most, the military is the most. But once you're beyond the military, I mean, to me, defense is the most important, because without good defense, maybe we don't need judges so much, right? It's like somebody said, well, we violated the budget. I said, do me a favor. Don't worry about the budget. If we're attacked and aren't doing very well, and somebody says, well, at least we have a good budget, that doesn't work too well, right? That doesn't work. So we have great military, we have great judges, we have great everything. Drug prices down. For the first time in 51 years, drug prices came down. And that was with no help from the Democrats. If they helped, because you need their votes, if they helped, I could get those drug prices down 40 and 50%. Okay? And we just approved, and we're approving very soon for the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, where he can buy, he has the right to go, we're giving him the right to go and buy from a foreign country, where the prices for the identical drug are 50% less. And he's going to do that for the people of Florida. And we're going to do that for your governors if they want to do that. We'll get that down so far. Everyone in America can see straight through the Washington Democrats' phony, dangerous charade. Schiff makes up so many things. Pelosi makes it up, and she backs him up. I saw her on a television show. And George Stephanopoulos, that's another beauty. He said, even he said, he was defending me. I couldn't believe it. He made the statement. But you know, he lied on that. He made up the statement. No, he didn't. So that means Nancy Pelosi said no, the statement that he made up. But it's all going to end soon. And it's going to come out to a beautiful, great victory for the Republican Party and for this nation. Thank you very much. So that's it. We have the greatest country. We've turned around a ship. We need 4 more years. If we don't have it, now if you want to drive them crazy, we had one group in Pennsylvania. Some guy started screaming, 16 more years, 16. They went crazy. And you know what they don't understand? When I do get out, they're all going to go out of business. They're making more money than they've ever made. That crazy New York Times, one of the worst newspapers in the world, one of the most dishonest newspapers in the history of the world, totally phony. They came out with a story where it was a great headline for me, and the people that read it, the super radical left, they called and complained so much that they changed the headline and took it from positive to negative on a good story. Can you believe it? No, they're among the most dishonest people. But I'll never forget, before I took that great escalator ride down with our First Lady's doing a great job. Great job. I said, First Lady, you're so lucky I took you on this journey. This wonderful, beautiful journey. And it is. You know why it's a wonderful, beautiful journey? Because look at what we're accomplishing is unbelievable. It's unprecedented. It is unprecedented what we're accomplishing. We're so lucky. I say it to all my people. I have great people in the back. I say, you folks are so lucky I took you on this. You could be home right now relaxing. But I'd rather be here, frankly, than any place. These rallies are great. They're inspiring. You are inspiring.